Welcome to the Togen token generator by Proofsuite. In this video, we're going to walk through how Togen works. Getting started is pretty easy, and an account is automatically generated for you so that whenever you refresh the page, your data will still be there. To access your data from other computers, you can create an account, and it's very easy to sign up and get started. So let's create a token. I'm going to create a token called Soccer Coin, and I'm going to select the package of a cryptocurrency and a DAO. A DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization in which people can vote on how tokens are minted, etc., and how funds are used within an organization. I can then click on supply and create how many tokens I want to make. So by default, it's set to 10,000. I'm going to make it 1 million. Now that I've set it to 1 million, I'm going to click update. And then I select my decimals. So the way decimals work is if I create 2 decimals, then I can send 1.05, but I can't send 1.051. Now, what happens when you add decimals is that there still are 1 million units, but it's recognized as 10,000 coins because I have 2 decimals. If I set it to 0 decimals, I would have 1 million coins. So then I'll click type, and I'll create the type of cryptocurrency. So this could be an asset-backed coin, but this is a fan token. It could be an equity coin for equity in a startup or a company. It could be a fund. It could be a game token for use within a game, a utility token, something that's needed to actually access an app, or another kind of security token like a commercial paper or something like that. So I'm going to click on fan token, update, and then I create my symbol. When I list on decentralized exchanges or other exchanges, this is the symbol people are going to see. So since mine is called Soccer Coin, I'm going to give it SOC, SOC. That is my symbol. The symbol for the dollar is the $, and the symbol for ETH is ETH, and the symbol for Bitcoin is BTC. It automatically gets my Ethereum address because I'm connected to MetaMask. I have MetaMask up here, and you can see I'm connected to the Rinkeby test network, and there. And then I can put a brief description about this coin. Now that I've added my description, I can click Generate this token now. This takes a second. This happens all on your client-side computer, and in a few seconds, you actually compile the smart contract. Now, you'll need to save all of this code if you later want to verify the code for others to see on Etherscan or other block explorers. So make sure to copy this code down. This is using the 0.4.25 commit, and you can see here the version of Solidity. This is the latest version as of this video. And let's walk through what this contract actually does. The first thing that it does is it uses a library called SafeMath. SafeMath is a way of doing math safely in a smart contract. If you just do regular addition and subtraction, there are vulnerabilities in Solidity that can cause issues down the line. And then we have an ERC-20 token. So as you can see, it has updated the name that I put. It has put the symbol that I selected, the decimals, the total supply that I selected. It sets a default rate of 500. And what this is basically every token that launches automatically has a crowd cell associated with it. And you can adjust this later, and we'll get to that. And it has a variable called isMinting, which is by default true, meaning that if people send money to the smart contract, they get a coin, and that coin is produced, and the funds are sent to the owner. And the owner is you on your MetaMask account that is automatically detected. And then let's take a look. So this function means that when people send funds into the smart contract, if it is in a crowdfunding state, that it'll create tokens. This just sets who the owner is. And by default, all tokens go to the owner. Now, a lot of people don't want to actually have all of their tokens, and they want to mint for their users. The reason this is done by default is because you can burn all your tokens immediately once you actually set it up. This is just a quick start because usually if we generated contracts and people didn't actually have any tokens. They were really confused. So by default, you get all of your tokens, and then you can burn them. So we have a burn token. This basically takes however many tokens that you want and deletes them from the supply, as long as you have those tokens. And only the owner can do this. Then we have create tokens. So this is what happens when someone sends funds, and it's based on the rate. And you can adjust the rate during the crowd sale. So if you want to peg your crowd sale to a dollar or a euro, you can call the update rate function, which we will show in a moment, to change the rate as the crowd sale goes on. Then you can end the crowd sale, and this is usually when it will actually go on the exchange, and is minting is set to false. So once you end the crowd sale, it's completely done forever. There can never be any more tokens created. And as we mentioned, the change the crowd sale rate function. And then we have our basic ERC-20 functions. So getting the total supply, getting the balance of a user, the transfer function. We have approvals and transfer from, as well as allowances. And you'll need these for decentralized exchanges. And you have your ABI here. And this is what's needed when you verify your contract with Etherscan or other block explorers. So save all of this data, and then you can make sure your MetaMask is connected to. I'm on the Rinkeby test network because I recommend that everyone start and test on the Rinkeby test network, and then you can move on to the main network. So I'll click deploy. That opens up my MetaMask. And this is the amount that I'm going to have to pay to the Ethereum Rinkeby test network in order for the miners to mine my transaction. And it's automatically set to a high enough fee that it'll get confirmed within a few seconds to a few minutes. So I'll click confirm. What we have done is we have generated our smart contract. Now we can see that it is pending. So we have to wait for the miners to mine it, and we'll get an update soon. So we have to wait a few seconds. Great, you see here, success. Your contract has been deployed. So now we can actually check it out in our token manager. So I'm gonna go over to the token manager. So your token manager allows you to manage your tokens. By default, it'll pull up all of the tokens that you've generated on all networks. So here is a contract that I generated on the Ropsten network. So if I change over on MetaMask to the Ropsten network, I can access these. So you'll see a notification. And these are all the contracts I generate on the mainnet. So here's the last token that I created. And there it is, Soccer Coin. It has a supply of 10,000, has 1 million units because it has 2 decimals. So it specifies how that works there. And then it shows the total distribution. So down here, it shows my tokens and others' tokens. So as you can see, I have 100% of the distribution. So let's start with managing our token. Let's send some of these tokens to a friend. All right, I found a friend to send tokens to. I'll click send tokens. It'll ask me how much I want to send them. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to be generous. I'm going to send them 10% of the tokens, which would be 1,000 tokens. And I'm going to put their address. Now I could, because I have 2 decimals, I could send 0.1, right? 1,000.1. So I'll click send. And there we go. MetaMask says I'm sending 1,000 SOCs to my friend. I'm going to click confirm. So it then says my transaction has been submitted to the blockchain. So I have to wait a few seconds for the transaction to confirm. And once that transaction is confirmed, then I will have sent away some of the tokens. So it's been about 15 seconds, and MetaMask has told me that my transaction was confirmed on the blockchain. I can refresh, go to my token manager, and I will see now, if I click on that I have a balance of 9,000 tokens, and others have about 10%. So others tokens, 10%, my tokens, 90%. So that's correct. So now let's burn some tokens. I want to actually get rid of 4,000 tokens. I want to erase those from existence. So as long as, and only I as the owner can do this. So I'll click burn tokens, and I'm going to get 4,000 tokens burned. Click confirm, and then I just wait a few moments for the blockchain to confirm that transaction, and then my balance will go down by 4,000, and the total supply will go down by 4,000. All right, it's been again about 15 seconds, and my transaction has been confirmed on the blockchain, so I'm going to refresh. Click on that, and there we go. I have a balance of 5,000. The total supply is 6,000, and now I have a percentage of 83% of the total tokens in circulation. And my friend still has all of his tokens. Now, right now, if someone sends funds to this Ethereum address, it will actually create tokens at the rate that I set. So let's say I'm in a pre-sale state and I want to switch to another state, or let's say that the price of Ethereum moves, I can change the rate. So by default, it's 500. I can move it to 1,000. So now this will affect how many tokens people get if they send funds to my smart contract. And you can only do this while your crowd sale is active. So you can change the rate for how much is minted when people send funds to the account. And let's say that you've minted enough coins, you've hit your cap, you're done now. You then want to click end crowd sale. Now this cannot be undone. Once you click this button, you end your crowd sale. When people send funds to your token smart contract, those funds will be returned directly to them and will not go to the owner. And that's usually when tokens are now tradable. And those are the major features of how to manage your coin. Now, some cool features that you can get, let's say you want to list on an exchange. Usually you'll need liquidity providers. We have a service that actually helps make markets for tokens. You can contact us if you're interested in this. And additionally, we'll add more robust documentation on listing on exchanges, and we'll also create more videos on how to do that, and transfer your tokens to the sidechain. So especially for like fan tokens, if you want to build an app and you want to allow people to move these tokens freely and in real time without waiting for confirmation, we will support this feature soon, so stay on the lookout for that. And that's a general overview of how Togen works. You can learn more in the About section and create an account. We'd be glad to hear from you. Please check out our Discord or send us an email if you have any issues. And all of the code for Togen and other products that Proofsuite generates is on GitHub. Thank you so much for watching, and happy token creating.